Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Angella and welcome to the Azure VSC Sharp video series. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to the Azure Table Storage and specifically show you how you can create a table and insert entities into it. The Azure Table Storage is pretty much a structured NoSQL database in the cloud that is highly scalable and allows you to create an unlimited number of tables with an unlimited number of entities, and each entity is pretty much a set of key value pairs that can have a max 252 properties and can be 1 megabyte each in size. The total size of any single tables you can have is a maximum 500 terabytes. That is the maximum size of a storage account. So it's very big and allows you to scale a lot in terms of performance. So let's see how we can actually create a table. First of all, we need to create a cloud table client. Let's call it table client. Then we need to create a table. Using the table client, I can do get table reference and provide the name of the table. Let's call it scores. And I'm going to call it scores table. So this actually gets a reference to the table, and then in order to create it, I need to call create if it does not exist. So if I run this code, it's going to create the scores table into Azure. Let's have a look in the portal. Here I have the storage account Azure VSC Sharp. I click on tables, and I can see that the scores table has been created. Unfortunately, Azure portal doesn't provide a way to actually look into the table and see what's in there. So we need to use another tool in order to do that. That is the Microsoft Azure Explorer. If I look at the tables here and I refresh, I can see that there is the table, but nothing is in there. We need to add some entities in it. Let's do it. In order to do that, I use the scores table and I use the execute method. Here I can provide a table operation. In this particular case, we want to do an insert operation. Table operation insert dot, and we need to insert an iTable entity. Okay. So every single entity that you add to an Azure table need to basically derive from a table entity class. And I already created for you a class called score entity that allows you to basically provide the game, the username, and the top score. Basically allows you to store the score, the top score for each game played by a user. It's very important to say that each table entity has two properties that together are the primary key of each entity. It's called partition key and the row key. It's very important to design the table in such a way that you maximize performance, and only the queries that use partition key and row keys in some sort of form are very optimized, because the table Azure automatically creates a clustered index on those. All the other queries, if you do queries that doesn't use the partition key and the row key, they will be very slow and they will do a table scan. So it's very important to maximize for performance, because the main reason why you are using Azure Table Storage is often because you want a very scalable storage. So there are various techniques that can help you to design this, but I'm not going into the details here. So in our case, the game name is the partition key and the username is the row key. And I want to actually create one of these score entity. Let me use the game, for example, Snake, and the user Andrea. And let's say I have done 1,000 points, right? And I can add as many rows as I want. Stefano. And let's run it and see if that works. Right, let me go back to the Azure Storage Explorer, and I refresh the list, and I can see that the two rows entities are basically added. You can also notice that the timestamp column is being created, or better, timestamp property. Okay, so this is basically how you can insert entities into an Azure table. However, there's a way to actually add entities in batch that is better for performance. The reason is that each of these execute operation is actually an HTTP request, and that is you can optimize operation if you insert entities with the same partition key, you can optimize things using batches. In order to do that, you can do score table.execute batch, and you can create a table batch operation that is actually simply a collection of table operations. So let's do copy here of this table operation, and let's, for example, create another game like Pac-Man, right? And I can create another two users, Andrea and Michaela. And there we go. So now I'm going to run this program, but we will find out that this will fail. And I do this deliberately to show you something important. So now insert fails, and saying that there is a conflict. The reason is that insert actually fail if the entity is already there. So if you want to update an entity instead of inserting, you can do insert or replace. So insert or replace basically does what it says. If the entity doesn't exist, it's going to insert that. If it exists, it's going to replace it. So in this case, I can run this program multiple times, and it's not going to fail now because it's going to replace everything. So let's run it and see if actually the entities are replaced, and the new entities in the batch are actually added. There we go. Let's go back to the Azure storage and refresh, and you can see that the Pac-Man entities has been created and the Snake entities has been created. And this is basically how you can create an Azure table and insert entities into it directly or using batches. We're going to look at the other operations in future videos. So hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this series and learn more about Azure and C#, please subscribe to the channel. See you soon.